Vijay shows his cartoons to Shyam Prasad, who really likes his designs, but wonders why he doesn't take his work to more well-reputed publisher. Vijay appreciates Shyam's passion, and the more mainstream publishers are very commercially minded, which he doesn't like working with. Shyam warns him that he is mostly short on funds, but Vijay doesn't have a problem with waiting until he has enough money to publish them. Shyam also puts forward the idea of Vijay self-publishing his cartoons, because Vijay looks affluent enough to afford them. Vijay is looking to establish his own identity without relying on his father's money, so getting accepted by this publisher would mean a lot for him. That's why he agrees to the deal that Shyam offers him, in which he would need to come up with an interesting concept within 6 months, even though the pay isn't ideal. He returns to his home, called the Anasuya, where his mother is making sweets in the kitchen with the other women. She is making laddus for a birthday party tomorrow, when Vijay shares the good news of his first book being published in 6 months. When his mother feeds him a laddu in celebration, he expresses how she should establish a brand and commercialize her business, but she has other values when it comes to her business. She prefers customers lining up for her sweets than following through on some corporate commands on how to make them. Vijay leaves the kitchen to call his dad and sister for lunch. His sister is in her room, preparing simultaneously for her botany and dance exams. He shares his happy news with his sister, who gets excited and congratulates him. Vijay's sister informs him that their father is at the matinee show. Vijay finds his father watching a melodramatic film and crying his heart out, while admiring the stellar acting of a legendary Telugu actor in the movie, who brings out all his emotions with his performance. Vijay doesn't understand how his father can cry at a movie he has watched more than 100 times. As soon as the Hindi dubbed part starts, Vijay's father gets annoyed and leaves the room, joining his family for lunch. Vijay's mother doesn't see the point in him reaching out to children, when every kid these days prefers gadgets and cinema over books. While his father is a fan of cinema, Vijay views it as the culprit behind all the fancy theatrics that he finds useless when it comes to entertainment. Vijay and his father enter a debate about what takes precedence, art or cinema. The rest of the family breaks into laughter when Vijay's father offers to give him ideas for the concept of his book. All in all, Vijay belongs to a loving and wholesome family. Vijay's father is watering the garden one day when a man called Das visits him. He wants to use his house for shooting a film, which is exciting for Vijay's father and sister, but he isn't so happy about this news. The shooting will go on for 20 days, and Vijay wants his father to refuse the producer, as he has his mother on his side too. The reason why his father agreed in the first place is that they are offering him a role in the film. Famous actors like Kishore and Samira are working in the film, and their house will be shown to be the heroine's house. Vijay's father also reveals that he retired from his government job a month ago, because he feels like he has fulfilled all his duties as a father and husband, and wants to focus on his own life now. He has been going to studios to ask for a role all these days, and even has his own portfolio of pictures in different roles which he shows to his family. Vijay warns his father yet again that the cinema industry will take advantage of him, but his father shows disappointment in him for not supporting his artistic passion, like he did with his son. Finally, Vijay's father decisively shouts at them all, because he's not going to budge from his decision. Murthy is coming up with a clickbait headline for his media-related blog, which is a cheap stunt for getting people's attention. He looks at Sinu's reaction when he reads the headline aloud, and is sure that this article will get a lot of clicks and reads. He is done with his IT job, and wants to open a site called jobless.com. Vijay walks in and tells his friends about what's going on at his home. Murthy sees this as an opportunity to get exclusive content for his website by piggybacking on Samira's fame, which will take his website to the top. Vijay leaves his friend's apartment in frustration too, because they also want to capitalize on some people Vijay finds fake and ordinary, whom others view as movie stars. While riding his bike, he sees a poster of a really beautiful actress, before he remembers his hate for those people and drives away. The next day, Vijay's morning is ruined by the shooting that has begun at his place. The crew breaks some things while setting up lighting, and takes over their rooms and utensils. Vijay's mother spots her husband smiling from ear to ear while discussing his character arc with the writer, so she sends Vijay to find out what he's up to. The chaos stops for a moment as soon as Samira arrives. Vijay watches her being escorted from her car to her vanity, with many people surrounding her to answer her needs. A while later, she comes inside the house for her shots while Vijay and his family watch her. Vijay's father keeps getting in the director's way, as he really wants to be an important part of the movie, while Das tries to keep peace between the homeowner's family and the crew. The director starts a new shot, but Vijay's father immediately stops it, because a lizard can be seen creeping up on a wall in the frame. This makes everyone laugh, including Samira and Vijay. Samira also messes up, as first she can't contain her laughter, and then she doesn't know how to properly deliver dialogues in Telugu, since she is only fluent in Hindi. Samira watches Vijay and his family laugh at her mishap multiple times as she tries to do her best. After the crew leaves, Vijay's family is discussing how Samira was butchering the Telugu language, at the expense of the Telugu girl who will dub on her behalf. But they can't help but appreciate how beautiful she is, which is why she is perfect for the role of the heroine. The next day, Vijay and his father watch the supporting actors speaking mediocre Telugu while the director, producer, and writer keep hyping each other up. Vijay's father gets a hold of the writer, who promises him that he will come up with a strong dialogue for him within a week. This is when Vijay's friends rush to him to get some pictures taken with Samira. His friends persuade him to go to Das, who takes them all to Samira's vanity. Samira lets them in, and Vijay talks on behalf of everyone to Samira in English, and she agrees to take pictures with his friends. They also throw Vijay in to take a picture of him and Samira together, because he is the most handsome out of them all. Vijay is about to leave with his friends when Samira tells him to stay back. She confronts him about them making fun of her Telugu the other day. She understands why they were doing it, and clarifies that she is still trying to learn the language. She requests him to help her out with her share of Telugu dialogues. It would be more suitable if he teaches her, because he is a second-generation speaker who is very fluent in the language, and she also found out from his dad that he doesn't have a proper job. She is willing to pay him a salary, and he can understand her, because he's an artist too. So on her insistence, he agrees to start helping her from tomorrow. When he comes out of Samira's vanity, Vijay's friends start inquiring about what he was doing inside, and he tells them that now he will be coaching her in Telugu. His friends tease him that now he will be close to Samira all day. The next day, he goes to her vanity with some coffee his mother sent for their first session. He compliments how stunning she looks when her phone starts ringing. He offers to wait outside for her to receive her call, but she doesn't mind him staying. She picks up the phone and starts talking in Hindi, telling someone that she is working right now and has people around her. She requests her caller to let her work in peace and promises that she's being truthful. She hangs up the phone and starts her session with Vijay. Kishore Babu, the hero of the film, pulls up at the set and meets Samira inside her vanity. Vijay gets uncomfortable with the way Kishore addresses and treats Samira, as it is a bit inappropriate. Samira introduces Kishore to Vijay before he leaves to shoot his scenes. Meanwhile, the writer has coaxed Vijay's father with a unique character in the heroine's uncle's role. Vijay's family and friends watch the next scene being shot and laugh at Kishore's acting, while Samira totally pulls off her dialogue. Everyone applauds her performance, while she gives the due credit for her improvement to Vijay. Vijay's father starts rambling about how Kishore needs some coaching too, as his performance lacked depth. Through the course of their sessions, Vijay and Samira become really good friends, even though Samira spends some time with his mother and friends too. Vijay and his mother also soften up to the rest of the crew, who are chaotic but harmless people. Vijay keeps practicing his art too, while his father keeps developing his role with the writer. Vijay observes Samira sitting quietly deep in thought, and draws a sketch of her. Another time, he sees Kishore getting over-friendly with her and rescues her. In their time spent together, Vijay often gets concerned by the calls Samira gets that make her tense and upset, but it's not his place to say anything, so he keeps quiet. He starts diverting her attention away from the phone and toward her work, which Samira really appreciates. He also shows some of his art to her when Das alerts Samira that there is a huge traffic jam in her way due to the rain, so she will have to stay over at Vijay's house tonight. As soon as she changes into her normal clothes and freshens up, Vijay's father shows her his portfolio and his acting skills, because the next day she will share screen time with him. Vijay's mother is cooking a feast for Samira, for which Vijay is heading out to the supermarket to get some ingredients. Samira wants to accompany him to get out of his father's grasp, but it is risky for her to go in public, as people might recognize her. Vijay's sister lends Samira her jacket, so she sets out to the market with him on his bike as it drizzles lightly. The snacks Samira buys in the rain are very simple, which is unexpected for Vijay. Samira gets recognized at the counter, so they quickly run out of the store and drive away. As they ride around the city, they start to feel drawn towards each other. Vijay's family takes care of Samira as soon as they get home. They treat Samira with a lot of hospitality. After dinner, Samira and Vijay go up to the terrace, where Samira shares how her parents aren't very involved in her life because they don't approve of her being an actress. Vijay shares his assumptions about the movie industry, but how different he thinks Samira is, because she would never compromise her self-respect for anything. When asked about why he doesn't have a girlfriend, Vijay responds that he's tough, which Samira finds hilarious. Vijay is describing his ideal girl when Samira realizes that she fits the description, and insinuates that she's ready to be in love with him, which takes Vijay by surprise. She recovers from her abrupt statement by calling it a joke, and goes on to listen to him about how he prefers inner beauty over physical appearance. She reminds him that she possesses some inner beauty too, while he blushes. He explains the concept of love to her by giving her the example of his grandparents, and how his grandfather felt his wife's pain as he was standing beside her during her last moments. To him, love is unconditional, faithful, and long-lasting. He doesn't do the superficial love of today's relationships, and that's why he doesn't have a girlfriend. Samira tears up while listening to him, and he holds her hand, gazing into her brown eyes. He leans in to kiss her when she abruptly changes the subject by asking what the time is, and requests him to drop her downstairs after realizing it's late. Vijay and Samira wish Vijay's father good luck while he gets ready for his shot. As the camera starts rolling, Vijay's father gives an absolutely excellent performance, and everyone claps for him, appreciating his natural talent. Everyone is optimistic about his future in the industry, as everyone will be interested in working with him now. Das gives everyone a surprise, as he states that today is the last day of shooting, and they have planned a farewell party for everyone this evening. This news is, however, not as pleasing for Vijay and Samira, whose smiles fade away slowly. Samira bids farewell to Vijay before walking away with her assistant. On her way to the car, she keeps glancing at Vijay, who is looking at her longingly. Vijay feels his life to be incomplete after Samira's departure, as he misses her terribly. He keeps trying to shake off the memories of the time they spent together. He travels to the northern regions for a workshop, but it's also where the rest of Samira's film will be shot, and goes to the set to see her. She is in the middle of shooting as he daydreams about being with her. The crew and Samira recognize him and come to greet him. He waits around as they go back to complete their shot. Kishore makes a foul comment to Samira about how she's trapped another guy in her web, which led to him following her all the way here. Vijay asks Samira to meet him at a restaurant for just an hour, where he admits that the workshop was just a cover-up, and he came there to see her. He confesses the feelings of love he holds for her in his heart. Samira acknowledges how sweet he is, but doesn't reciprocate his adoration toward her. As Samira tries to soften the blow of rejection by explaining herself, Vijay attempts to recover from the humiliation by apologizing. She empathizes with him when her phone starts ringing again, and she leaves in the name of a family emergency. Vijay returns from his trip disappointed and bitter. On the day of the movie premiere, he and his family members are all dressed up to see his father on the big screen. His father promises to treat his wife and daughter after the premiere, before calling out to Vijay to drive them to the cinema, as he doesn't want to go. Vijay joins his family and friends inside the movie theater just as the film is about to begin. As everyone reacts enthusiastically to the movie, Vijay keeps using his phone, and only pays attention when Samira is on the screen. He looks up with suspicion when he hears the hero narrating some dialogue, which is an exact replica of what he said to Samira on the night at the terrace. He feels betrayed, as they have even taken the story about his grandparents, even though he told all of this to Samira in confidence. Things get worse as his father realizes that his scene has been totally cut from the movie. His father stands up in protest and disbelief, while the audience shushes and sits him down. This is the final straw for Vijay, who walks out in anguish, while his father faces the music with tears in his eyes as the film concludes. The rest of Vijay's family and friends come outside and try to comfort his father, while he tries to make sense of the situation and calls Das. Nobody understands why Vijay's father's scene was edited out of the film, especially when he did such a good job. His disbelief has turned into anger now as he tries to get in touch with Das. Vijay's sister wants to check out a costume workshop with one of the crew members, and Vijay scolds and forbids her from going. Vijay's mother drags them home. His father retires to his room because of his loss, while Vijay and his sister quarrel, and Vijay gets even more irritated at his sister for wanting to roam around with such cheap people from a cheap industry. Vijay later apologizes to his mother, because she is the only one sane at this time, trying to take care of them all. He confides in her about what happened in Manali with Samira, and his mother comforts him, while reassuring him that he is no less than anyone. His mother reminds him that, just like he had the right to profess his love for her, she also had the liberty to reject him. His mother continues counseling him as she recalls that she loved someone too, before she met his father. He was her senior in college, and courteously let her down after she proposed to him. She couldn't move on for 6 months until she met her husband at a drama festival. He was cheerful, then jokingly asked her to marry her, but she turned him down, still affected by her heartbreak. Nevertheless, he stayed her friend throughout that phase, until she wanted to marry him by herself. So a real man is one who knows how to handle rejection without making it a matter of his ego. Vijay goes to his father, who is still traumatized from the injustice that has happened to him. Vijay says goodbye to his father, as he is going to stay at Murthy's place for a few days to clear his mind. His father feels humiliated for the joke he made out of himself, and agrees with Vijay's assumptions about the movie industry after all. Vijay motivates his father to keep chasing his dream, and not give up because of some bad people, as there might be good people in this field too. Murthy and Sinu give Vijay their fun and caring company, to help him move on from the ordeal he has been going through. Murthy heads to the living room to drink while Vijay focuses on his drawings, refusing to drown his sorrows in alcohol. Murthy turns on the TV, and Kishore and Samira are being interviewed about their new movie. Murthy brings Vijay to the living room, where the TV show is being aired. Samira shares her experience of working in the film, and the interviewer compliments her fluent Telugu. She starts talking about her process of learning Telugu with a coach during the shooting of this film when Kishore cuts her off and changes the subject. The interviewer asks them about the love confession scene, and how its dialogues were so heartfelt, and a fan favorite. Kishore replies that it was Samira who came up with these dialogues during a discussion with the film's team. Vijay is fuming as Samira takes credit for the dialogue, claiming that it just came up in her mind and she blurted them out. The TV host opens up the segment for callers to call on the show and get a chance to talk to Samira and Kishore, so Vijay calls from Murthy's phone. Vijay poses as a fan with a different name and starts talking to Samira. He starts talking about how obsessed he is with Samira, and how impressed he was to see her fluency in Telugu. He directly questions her about who her coach is, but she dodges the question politely. He also confronts her about copying the love profession's dialogue from someone's true confession of love, which leaves Samira speechless. Kishore tries to jump in to rescue Samira, but Vijay keeps addressing her, nudging her to answer. Vijay loses his temper and insults Kishore for his poor acting and pathetic dialogue delivery, after which the TV network cuts his call. As Kishore throws a tantrum about the mishap on the TV network's side, Samira quietly stares into the abyss. Vijay's mother brings out some food for him and his friends over at Murthy's place when the doorbell rings. Samira is at the door, and she's here to see Vijay, but he immediately kicks her out of the house without listening to her. He vents out how people like her exploit others, just like the director did with his father. He has no problem that she rejected him, but hates that she took advantage of his feelings just for praise from random people. He expresses that she disgusts him, and commands her to never show her face again. A few days later, Vijay makes up with his sister, and Samira tries to busy herself in her work to numb the pain she has been feeling. Vijay gets a call from Shyam informing him that his book will be launched this month, and shares its published copies with all his friends and family. Vijay and his loved ones watch the news of Samira's attempt on TV, which reports that she fell from her balcony and hit her head, due to which she is admitted to the hospital. Vijay rushes to see her at the hospital, after which he discovers from her assistant that Samira has an abusive boyfriend, Amit, who appeared supportive at first, but grew toxic and psychotic with time as Samira gained fame. His torture worsened by the time Samira was shooting at Vijay's house, but she couldn't cut ties with him out of compassion. This is when she started falling for Vijay, and was really heartbroken when they were separated. Amit's torture and Kishore's pestering got even worse in Manali when Samira had gone to meet Vijay, as Amit was also there, and Kishore provoked him. After this, Samira was tense all the time that Amit would harm Vijay, so she tried to protect him. The last straw was Amit coercing Samira to sleep with the producer, after which she slapped him. He retaliated by pushing her off the balcony, but she didn't take any legal action against him to protect Vijay. Vijay takes his dad and friends to Amit to teach him a lesson, and kick him out of Samira's life for good. He attends his book launch later that evening, and the chief guest for the event is none other than Samira. Fate finally works in their favor as they resolve their issues to live a joyous life together, just like in Vijay's books.